Welcome back to La Coin's World. Lincoln Penny 1964 coins, $1.9 million coin. Have you ever imagined that a single penny sitting in an old coin jar could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars? Every year, millions of people unknowingly spend valuable coins because they assume every penny is worth only 1 cent. But the world of coin collecting tells a completely different story. Some ordinary-looking pennies have become legendary because of their condition, rare varieties, and fascinating history. One of the most talked-about coins among collectors is the 1964 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like a common coin that almost everyone has seen, but hidden behind its simple appearance is a story that has captured the attention of collectors for decades. Whether you inherited a collection, found an old penny in your pocket, or enjoy searching through spare change, this coin deserves a closer look. Before you throw away or spend a 1964 Lincoln penny, watch until the end because the tiny details on this coin could make all the difference between 1 cent and a surprising amount of money. The 1964 Lincoln penny was struck during an important period in American coin history. In the early 1960s, the United States experienced a nationwide coin shortage as people began saving coins instead of spending them. The U.S. Mint responded by dramatically increasing production, and as a result, hundreds of millions of Lincoln pennies were struck in 1964. Because so many were produced, most people believe these coins have little value. While that is true for heavily circulated examples, exceptional pieces and rare varieties continue to attract serious collectors. The obverse of the 1964 Lincoln penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. His initials, VDB, appear on the shoulder area of Lincoln's bust. Above the portrait is the motto, "In God We Trust." To the left is the word liberty, while the date 1964 appears on the right side. If your coin has no mint mark below the date, it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. If it has a small d, it was produced at the Denver Mint. Both versions are collected, although their values depend mainly on condition and rarity. The reverse displays the famous Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. At the top appears United States of America, while 1 cent is prominently displayed in the center. Along the upper edge is the motto, E Pluribus Unum. If you examine the memorial carefully with magnification, you can even see the tiny statue of Abraham Lincoln inside the building, making this one of the most detailed coin designs ever placed on a circulating American penny. The 1964 Lincoln penny was made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it a weight of approximately 3.11 grams. Although the mintage was extremely high, condition is the key factor that determines value. A heavily worn 1964 Lincoln penny that has circulated for decades is generally worth only 1 to several cents. However, coins that have never entered circulation and still display their original mint luster are far more desirable. Collectors classify uncirculated coins using the mint state grading system. Coins graded MS-63 or MS-64 are attractive, but may have noticeable contact marks. Higher grades, such as MS-65 and MS-66, become increasingly difficult to find because fewer coins survive in such well-preserved condition. At the very top of the grading scale, MS-67 and above are considered exceptional and often command impressive prices. Another important factor is the coin's color. Copper naturally darkens over time, so grading services classify these coins as brown, red-brown, or red. Brown coins have lost most of their original mint color. Red-brown coins retain a mixture of original red and darker tones. Full red examples still display nearly all of their original bright copper color and are the most desirable among collectors. An ordinary circulated 1964 Lincoln penny without unusual features usually sells for face value or only a small premium. Uncirculated red examples often sell for several dollars depending on grade. Coins graded MS-66 red may bring tens or even hundreds of dollars. The finest certified examples, graded MS-67 red or higher, have sold for several $1,000s because nearly flawless specimens are extremely difficult to locate despite the enormous number originally minted. One reason collectors enjoy searching for 1964 Lincoln pennies is the possibility of discovering mint errors. These mistakes occur during the manufacturing process and can significantly increase a coin's value. One popular error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank is not correctly positioned during striking, causing part of the design to be missing. If the date remains visible and the off-center strike is dramatic, these coins could be worth hundreds of dollars depending on the percentage of the missing design. Another collectible error is the broad strike. This occurs when the retaining collar fails during striking, allowing the coin to expand beyond its normal size while still receiving a complete impression. Broad strike pennies are popular with error collectors because of their unusual appearance. Collectors also search for clip planchets. These coins were struck on incomplete metal blanks, leaving a curved section missing from the edge. Genuine clip planchet errors are produced before striking and are recognized as legitimate mint errors rather than post-mint damage. Die cracks are another interesting feature found on some 1964 Lincoln pennies. As minting dies wear out, they can develop cracks that appear as raised lines on the finished coin. Larger die cracks and dramatic die breaks, known as cuds, are especially desirable among error collectors. Occasionally, collectors discovered double-struck examples where the coin received two separate strikes from the dies. Depending on the alignment and strength of the second strike, these dramatic errors can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some 1964 Lincoln pennies also exhibit repunched mint marks on Denver issues. During this era, mint marks were punched into the dies by hand, and if the punch shifted between impressions, traces of the earlier punch remained visible. These varieties are carefully studied by specialists and can carry significant premiums. If you think you have an unusual 1964 Lincoln penny, avoid cleaning it under any circumstances. Cleaning removes the original surface and can dramatically reduce collector value. Even a coin that appears dirty is often worth more in its untouched condition than after polishing or scrubbing. Proper storage is equally important. Copper reacts with moisture, fingerprints, and chemicals in the environment. Store valuable coins in protective holders or archival quality coin flips to preserve their original appearance and prevent damage over time. Professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC authenticate coins, assign official grades, and seal them in protective holders. Certification provides confidence for buyers and sellers while helping establish accurate market values. Many of the highest-priced 1964 Lincoln pennies have been certified by these respected organizations. Searching for valuable pennies remains one of the most enjoyable parts of the hobby. Many collectors examine bankrolls, estate sales, flea markets, and inherited collections hoping to discover a hidden treasure. While most 1964 Lincoln pennies are common, remarkable high-grade examples and genuine mint errors continue to appear from time to time, rewarding patient collectors with exciting finds. The story of the 1964 Lincoln penny proves that value is not determined only by how many coins were produced. Instead, rarity often comes from exceptional preservation, original red color, and unusual mint errors. A coin that looks ordinary at first glance may become highly desirable when it possesses the right combination of quality and uniqueness. The next time you find a 1964 Lincoln penny, don't rush to spend it. Examine the date, check for a mint mark, inspect the surfaces under bright light, and look carefully for unusual doubling, die cracks, clip planchets, off-center strikes, or other mint errors. You may simply have a 1-cent coin, or you could be holding a collectible piece of American history worth far more than its face value. Every Lincoln penny has a story, and sometimes that story is worth thousands of dollars. Keep searching, keep learning, and never underestimate the value hidden inside an ordinary-looking coin. This is exactly why collectors around the world continue hunting for these classic copper cents. And here on Hardest Penny, we'll keep uncovering the hidden treasures that most people overlook every single day. Welcome back to La Coins World, Lincoln Penny 1976 coins. Have you ever looked at an ordinary pocket coin and wondered if it could secretly be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars. Most people spend these coins without a second thought, but collectors know that one small detail can completely change a coin's value. Today, we're exploring one of the most searched Lincoln cents in American coin collecting, the 1976 D Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like just another 1-cent coin. Millions of people have owned one, and many are still hiding inside old jars, piggy banks, and forgotten collections. But not every 1976 D penny is the same. While the majority are only worth 1 cent, a few special examples have surprised collectors with impressive prices because of their condition, rare mint errors, and unique characteristics. Before you spend or ignore a 1976 D Lincoln penny, stay with me until the end, because you might discover that the coin sitting in your home is far more interesting than you ever imagined. 1976 D Lincoln penny. The 1976 D Lincoln penny was produced at the Denver Mint during America's bicentennial year, a time when the United States celebrated its 200th anniversary of independence. While special bicentennial designs appeared on the quarter, half-dollar, and dollar coins, the Lincoln cent kept its traditional design. Even so, collectors continue to search for 1976 pennies because high-grade examples and mint errors can be surprisingly valuable. The obverse of the coin features Abraham Lincoln, a design created by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909. Around Lincoln's portrait are the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, 1976. Just below the date is the small D mint mark, showing that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint. The reverse displays the familiar Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. If you look closely, you can even see a tiny image of the Lincoln statue inside the memorial. This remarkable detail has fascinated collectors for decades. The 1976 D Lincoln penny was struck in a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing approximately 3.11 grams with a diameter of 19 millimeters. Because it was made before the composition changed in 1982, many collectors enjoy these earlier copper cents. More than 4 billion 1976 D Lincoln pennies were minted. That enormous production means the coin is very common in circulated condition. Most examples found in pocket change are worth only 1 of 5 cents, depending on their condition. However, condition is everything in coin collecting. Coins that never entered circulation and still display their original mint luster are called mint state coins. These are much more desirable than war examples. Even though millions were produced, finding one with flawless surfaces, sharp details, and vibrant original color is surprisingly difficult. Collectors also pay close attention to the coin's color designation. A brown coin has mostly darkened from oxidation. A red-brown coin retains some original mint color. A full red coin still displays nearly all of its original bright copper appearance and is usually worth the most. In lower mint state grades, such as MS-63 or MS-64, a full red 1976 D Lincoln penny may sell for only a few dollars. Coins graded MS-65 or MS-66 often bring higher prices because they are much harder to find without noticeable marks. When you reach the highest certified grades, values increase dramatically. An MS-67 red example can sell for several $100s, depending on eye appeal and market demand. The finest known examples, graded MS-68 red by major grading services, have sold for several $1,000s at auction because of their exceptional preservation and rarity in such a high grade. But grade is only part of the story. Mint errors are another reason collectors search through rolls of pennies every day. One popular error is the off-center strike. If the coin was not properly aligned during striking, part of the design may be missing. Depending on how far off-center the strike is while still showing the date, these coins can sell for hundreds of dollars. Another collectible error is the broad strike. This happens when the collar that normally shapes the coin fails to hold it in place, causing the coin to spread wider than normal. Broad strike pennies are popular among error collectors. Some 1976 D pennies also show die cracks or die chips. These occur as the minting dies wear out over time. Larger and more dramatic die cracks usually command higher premiums. Double strikes are another exciting possibility. If the coin was struck twice by the dies without being properly ejected, the second strike may create a dramatic overlapping image. Strong double-struck examples are highly collectible. Collectors also look for clip planchets. These coins were struck on incomplete blanks, leaving a curved section missing from the edge. Authentic clip planchet errors are easy to recognize and can carry significant value. Die breaks, cuds, and retained cuds are additional mint errors that specialists enjoy collecting. The more dramatic the error and the better the condition, the more valuable the coin can become. It is important not to confuse machine doubling with true double dies. Machine doubling is very common and usually adds little or no value. Genuine double die varieties show clear doubling that was created during the die-making process and are much scarcer. If you think you found an unusual 1976 D Lincoln penny, never clean it. Cleaning removes the original surface and often reduces a coin's value significantly. Even gentle polishing can leave scratches that grading services immediately recognize. Store valuable pennies in protective holders to prevent damage from fingerprints, moisture, and air exposure. Copper is especially sensitive to environmental changes, making proper storage extremely important. Professional grading companies such as PCGS and NGC authenticate coins, assign official grades, and encapsulate them in tamper-resistant holders. Certified coins generally sell more easily because buyers trust the independent evaluation. When examining your coin at home, use a magnifying glass or coin loupe with good lighting. Look carefully for unusual doubling, missing design elements, off-center strikes, cracks, chips, or other abnormalities. Also pay close attention to the coin's original color and surface quality. Many collectors search through bank rolls hoping to find overlooked high-grade examples. Although the odds are low because billions were produced, remarkable discoveries still happen. Coins stored untouched for decades occasionally emerge with beautiful original surfaces that collectors eagerly seek. Auction records prove that exceptional quality matters. While ordinary circulated examples are worth only a few cents, the finest certified full red specimens have realized several $1,000s because so few survive in nearly perfect condition. The 1976 D Lincoln penny reminds us that rarity is not always about low mintage. Sometimes a coin becomes valuable because finding one in extraordinary condition is incredibly difficult. Billions may have been produced, yet only a tiny number have survived with flawless surfaces, blazing original red color, and virtually no contact marks. So before you dismiss that old penny is worthless, take a closer look. Check the mint mark, inspect the surfaces, search for unusual errors, and compare its condition carefully. That simple copper cent could be an ordinary 1-cent coin, or it could be a collectible treasure waiting to be discovered. For dedicated collectors, every penny tells a story, and sometimes that story is worth far more than a single cent. If you enjoy learning about rare and valuable Lincoln pennies, make sure to follow Hardest Penny, where every coin could reveal the next hidden treasure hiding in plain sight.